Hello there, people. Welcome to my channel. The channel is Spice, Color, and Culture. Yes, we love spice in this kitchen. I always say that bland is a kitchen without spice. So, you know us, you know how we do it. So, join us in cooking. Today, what I'm making is this is actually my first video, so pardon me if I sound if it's all over the place, but yeah, I think I've got the hang of it. Okay, so I am making Gari Jollof, or what we call in Ghana Gari Foto, which is like vegetable sauce cooked Gari cooked in vegetable sauce, not cooked per se, but just is more of a stir fry than cook. So I've got the ingredients here. The main ingredient here is Gari, and for those of you who don't know what Gari is, this is it's made out of cassava or yuca, as some people like to refer it to, and it's absolutely gluten free. For those of you who have got allergies, it's you can add this, and it's lovely. It's similar, it kind of similar to couscous, if you like, and it's 100% gluten free for those of you who've got allergies. Yeah. So now, a lot of people ask why Ghanaian food or African food do not make it to the international, let's say the international menu, and it's because usually the food we cook with too much fat, with too much oil. So sometimes, I mean, for people who are conscious about their weight, their health, and everything, they kind of stay away from oily and starchy foods. So what I'm trying to do is to incorporate as much vegetables and as much color, and then cut down on carbohydrates as much as I can, so that I can create something healthy, something that anyone watching, anyone who's got allergies, or anyone who is, they love Ghanaian food, but it's just the process. Sometimes we tend to, and that is how we came to meet our grandmothers and our mothers cooking. So we kind of got used to it, but now we know these things, fats and too much carbs, they make you put on weight, and then it's not healthy. So basically, I'm just trying to cut down on everything. So and the one other thing I'm going to use is palm oil. A lot of people from West Africa, most people from West Africa know this oil. It's kind of it's quite saturated, and I think it's similar to butter, if you like. So don't use too much of it if you're going to use this recipe. And um so I'm going to talk you through the ingredients. I've got some tuna, I've got some parsley, I've got some scallion, I've got mushroom. Now what I've done to these mushroom is I just wash them, put them in the microwave for about 5 minutes to just draw out, sap all the water out. So it's kind of it tastes better that way. It's a little bit more crunchy. And I've got here onions and a couple of garlic. I've got some pepper, sweet peppers. I've got the green and the red. I've got broccoli here. Now, the thing about broccoli, it just cooks so quickly. So, if you want to have a crunch, and there's nothing worse than a soft and overcooked broccoli. So what I do is put a little bit of salt in water, bring it to the boil, let it boil, and then prepare your broccoli and put it in the water, the boiling water, for about 3 minutes. But before that, make sure you've got a bowl of ice waiting, so that the moment it comes out of the you take it from the of the boil, you can just toss them into the into the cold water, the chilled water. If you've got ice, yes, you can toss in some ice. So what it does, it shocks it. The ice shocks it, so it stops cooking, and it can stay crunchy that way. Yeah. So I've got some spice here. I've got oregano. I love oregano. I love the smell of it. I've got um some rosemary, and yeah, so we are good to go. So first of all, just add a little bit of oil. Add a little oil into a little of the palm oil. We call it red oil. I mean, if you like, just yeah, just a drizzle. Don't overdo it. Yeah, because what we're trying to do here is cut down on fat. You don't want to have too much oil in your food, because it can be, it's dangerous. I just can't stand oil. It's dangerous. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is to add our onions. Add the onions. Here we go. So onions, first of all, let it just blanch it a little bit. Right, so the onions are a little bit blanched. So what you do is add in your tomato puree. I'm going to add just a little bit of tomato puree. Yeah, and then we mix it in. And the smell is lovely. I love palm oil. I mean, if you've never tried it, you can give it a try. I mean, if you don't like it, fine, but you might like it. You never know. You might like it. Yep. So everything is mixing. I'm just going to add a little bit of water, so that the tomato puree will break down a little bit. Yep. There we go. Okay, now it's well mixed. Now I'm just going to add about a teaspoon of chili powder. I mean, if you can skip this part, you don't have to add chili. I know some people are not too keen on chili. That's fine, but I like chili, so I add chili to mine. Yeah, so it smells really good at this point. Just lower your fire a little bit, so that you don't get any burns, and add a little bit more water as you go along. Just a drop of water, so that it's not too thick, not too stodgy. Yeah, so we're going to allow this to just simmer for about 2 minutes, and then we add in all our vegetables. The most important thing is we're not going to overcook it, because the whole point is keeping the vegetables as fresh as we can. So, I mean, one thing about Ghanaian food is we tend to overcook our vegetables. I mean, we boil them. We boil them to a pulp usually, but I think it loses all the ingredients. It loses the nutrients, and then what's the point? You don't get, it doesn't do any good to your body. Yeah, so we are going to keep everything fresh. As I said, this smells really good. I mean, I know it's cliched, but it does smell good. You should be in this kitchen to know that I'm not just saying it. Okay. I mean, from preparing the vegetables and putting everything together shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. This is a quick dish. It shouldn't take all of your time. I remember growing up, my grandmother did most of the cooking, and what we used at the time was firewood, so we had to she was always in the kitchen, and there was soot everywhere on the kitchen walls, and I mean, it was a labor of love. Come to think of it, how many hours she spent in a kitchen full of smoke and inhaling all of that. I think we've come far. I mean, we've come a long way. Oh dear, mustn't burn. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of water, just a drop of it, and then I'm going to add all the vegetables. Now, your food, if your plate, everything on your plate looks beige, it means you're not eating healthily, because vegetables come in so many beautiful colors. I've got orange, so it's more or less like a rainbow. Your plate has to have a touch of rainbow, really, to convince me that you're eating properly. So I'm just going to toss in all the other ingredients. I'm not going to overcook it because I want it as fresh as possible. So I've added in everything, toss them together, and then here's our mushroom, toss in the mushroom. And then the last thing that will go in is going to be the gari, because is the final touch. And so I'm going to add a tuna a little bit later when the vegetables are a little blanched. So just give it a stir and add a little bit of salt as you please, or maybe you can use a stock cube or something. You see, this is a picture of health, and it smells good. You can eat this without meat. You don't have to add meat. I really don't need the tuna because I can eat it as it is, and then just garnish it with a little bit of parsley, or maybe what's the other one, coriander, and you're good to go. So we're nearly done. I'm just going to allow it to simmer for a little while, and I'll add the tuna and then the gari, and then that's us done. This is Gari Jollof, or Gari Foto as we call it in Ghana. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come again. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm new to YouTube, so please be kind to me. Thank you. Bye.